Right. So, in this segment of the show, we're going to try something new. So, I've taken this inspiration from Glitter Mama, based down in Sydney. So, she's got a great show on Vocal Booth Radio every second Thursday at 10 a.m. UK time. So, she's done a few interviews, and I thought it was really good. So, I've taken her inspiration. I'm going to start doing a few. So, we'll see how they go. So, I managed to get the first guest. He needs no introduction, but I'll give him a very brief rundown. So, he's an international DJ and he's an extremely, extremely nice guy. So, oh, I've got the wrong cards there. So, I'm only joking. I'm only joking. So, he's hailed from Birmingham in the UK. I'm going to give it all away now. So, you're going to know who he is. He's the founder of Vocal Booth Radio, amongst other fantastic vocal booth products, shall we say. So, no introduction. Let me bring on Andy Ward. Welcome, Andy.
Hello, good evening. I should say good evening, good morning,
Good
wherever
evening.
anyone's
Yeah,
listening.
as this is going out, it's going to be good evening. Hopefully, the second Tuesday of the month now. So, thanks very much for taking out a few moments of your time to do this interview. Hope nothing drops off, and we'll see how it goes. Yeah. So, very brief introduction there, but tell us about Andy Ward. So, a very potted history, if you won't mind, of who Andy Ward is and where you're at the minute.
Okay, well, thank you for your kind words, saying I'm a nice guy. I'll take that. Um, yeah, I've got to remember I'm looking into the camera as well. So, who is Andy Ward? I am coming up to 55 years of age. I was
Really?
started DJing. Yeah, started DJing back in 1992, 93, just for fun, as many of us did. My career, if you want to call it that, took me from local residencies in Birmingham to playing on Choice FM radio station in Birmingham. That then progressed to Galaxy FM. Along the way, I got several residencies up and down the country for small gigs, bigger gigs. I then started producing under the guise of Soul Central, had a top 10 hit, had many other underground hits, resident DJ for Soul Heaven. That took me around the world. Once I got the top 10 hit, that took me further around the world. Started my Vocal Booth Weekender event after moving to Spain in 2003. Sorry, let me recap that. I actually started Vocal Booth Radio when I moved to Spain 2004.
Right.
Started the Vocal Booth Weekender 2009. I'm all about building strong relationships, a community, because without the community, then us as DJs are nothing. And eventually, don't ask me how, launched Vocal Booth Radio in 2025. And here we are now. And I'm sure we'll talk about how our paths crossed
Yes.
down the way. But that is a very
Yeah.
short
No.
recap of who I am. Was that enough
Yeah,
for you?
no, it's perfect. I mean, what a great career you had, and sort of landing on where we are today with Vocal Booth Radio. So that was sort of my next question is, why the hell did you want to start a radio show? I know everything you've been going through in the background, and I think it's been a bit of a task, but it's been well worth the effort, isn't it? I think when we look at where you're at now with everything.
It has indeed, and again, thank you for saying so. I was on Pressure Radio since 2005, and internet radio back when it started was a completely different beast. You had to have a lot of knowledge to be able to get your internet station up and running. So I always give a lot of credit to DJP, who started Pressure. I was possibly one of the longest standing DJs on there, and my show became one of the flagship shows. And over time, the energy behind Pressure waned. I don't think DJP would take offence from me saying that his priorities changed, and the support of the station just fell off. And it kind of broke my heart, because there were so many of us who put our heart and soul into the broadcast and building up that community. It was off the back of Pressure that, we built Vocal Booth Weekender.
Yeah.
So I thought, let me see if I could continue with this. I did ask to continue with Pressure Radio, take it over, so to speak. And DJP had said initially that he was happy for me to do so. But after me pushing him and pushing him for many, many months, it was clear that he didn't really want me to take it over.
Yeah.
So I just I gave him the option. I said, look, do you want me to take it over, or shall I just start off my own station? And he said, well, it's my baby. I don't really want to give it up. You know, please, do you mind doing something different? And I said, yeah, absolutely fine, which was great because it gave me the opportunity to have a clean break, to start from the ground up. What was meant to be just 3 days programming has evolved into a full 24 hours, 7 days a week
Yeah.
schedule
Job.
with over 90 DJs from
Yeah.
all around the world. And it's a heavy task. There's so much work that goes on behind the background. I tend not to shout about it too much. The DJs know, obviously, because I communicate so much.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be a bit overbearing with the information that I share, but it's only because I care
Yeah.
and I'm trying to give everybody the best opportunity to be the best that they can.
Yeah.
But the listeners don't really understand what's going on in the
No,
background.
that's it. I mean, we all see that in the background, all the emails, and I mean everything you put together. Again, it's just I don't know how you found the time to do everything because it's you must obviously you must be pulling your hair out, but it's yeah, it's been fabulous. But yeah, so that sort of ties in with I know in the background you can tell us about is the e-colors that you're now involved with. So I think that's massively helped with all the communication. I think it's been a good exercise for you of how people receive different information, how they process it, and how you then interpret it into it. So, if you want to tell anybody who doesn't know about the e-colors what that is,
Ah, well, thank you
yeah,
for giving me the opportunity to push that. This is something that I've been doing for a couple of years now, an official, a certified e-colors practitioner. Many people that know me through Pressure Radio, through Vocal Booth Weekender, know that I'm quite a fiery person. I'm very passionate and I do care about everyone around me, but I didn't always have the best tolerance or patience. And Mark Wilkinson, who most people will be aware of, a former DJ from the Ministry of Sound, had reached out to me during lockdown when I had a bit of a rant online, and he himself was fine tuning his e-colors, and he said to me, look, come and have a look at this, you may find it interesting. And long story short, we all have different personality styles. There are four main colors within the e-color spectrum: red, yellow, green and blue. I'm a top color red, and I could list you all of my strengths, but I was also drawn to my potential limiters, and I was absolutely amazed to understand how people can find me intimidating, they can find me daunting, they can find me thoughtless, they can find me rude, and everything I do comes from a place of love. And so it really stopped me and made me think, oh, I was really taken aback. But then you understand how
yeah, yeah,
people who are seen as sensitive, who are shy, who talk too much, all of these different traits, they all need to be communicated to differently. I mean, I'm hesitant to talk too much about this, and I'm really grateful that you gave me the
yeah. No,
opportunity
fire
to, because
away.
it's something that I could talk about all night long. But I invite people, if they are at all interested, to see how I turned my life around to become so understanding and so tolerant and so
Yeah, yeah,
patient. Then they can find out all about it at ajw360.com.
yeah.
And again, Jimmy, thank you for giving me a chance
Yeah,
to
no,
talk
that's
about
fine.
that.
I'll put a link up on the video and a link in the notes anyway, so people can follow that. But yeah, it's definitely worth doing. I know I've done not through the e-colors, but I've done something similar. And when you do the test and it comes back, it's amazing how accurate it is, isn't it? I think I'm
Hmm.
yellow red when I did mine. And when you do the questions, you think some of them are not really relevant, aren't you? You maybe rush it, but that's the whole thing about then it determines how your personality is. But yeah.
Indeed. And you were wonderful coming on one of the courses with your daughter as well, and that was a revelation as
Yeah,
well,
no,
right?
it's great. And if anybody's hesitant to doing it, it's just jump on one of the courses. I think you've got one when this comes out in April. I think you've already done the one next Friday, I think, isn't it? So
That's
going
right. Yeah,
back
I
in
did one
time,
on the
but
21st of I did one on the 21st of March, but I do them
yeah,
regularly,
yeah,
and the whole point of the e-colors awareness is to basically do one-on-one self-awareness sessions with people.
yeah. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Thanks very much for that one. I'm mindful time's marching on because this is part of the radio show. So I'll get in trouble with the boss if I maybe drag it on too long there. So, but is there any sort of final things you want to tell people about what you're up to? And obviously we mentioned the e-colors, but is there anything else? That's
Well, I want to thank you for bringing me on here because, as many people should know, I dropped off the DJ circuit a long time ago. I really just had enough of traveling. People ask me to do interviews all the time. People ask me to come on and do videos all the time, and I just blankly refuse them. But because you've been so instrumental in the beginnings of Vocal Booth Radio, I was more than happy
Oh,
to
thanks.
do this for you.
Thanks, mate.
Your generosity with your time and helping out behind the scenes, it's not gone unnoticed. What do I want to push? Yeah, I just love doing the e-colors. I love doing my video design work, my graphic design, my website building. That's what brings in my money. I also run Vocal Booth Weekender, so if anyone's at all interested in that, they can check that out at vocalboothweekender.com. I'd like to think I'm so vocal online that a lot of people know a lot of this already.
Yeah.
But I'm very approachable. I love chatting to people, and despite maybe being a little bit misunderstood at times, I'm a different person than I used to be. So if anybody ever wants to chat to me, as all the DJs know, I'm here for them.
Perfect. Fabulous. Fabulous. So last question. I bought one of these Stargate time machines off Temu recently. It's only cost £100, but it works pretty well. And what we can do, we can go back to any night, anywhere, any time. So where, when, and why would you want to go back to one night? And you got to take me with you as well, just to have that
Okay.
one night. So I'll get it fired up, and we can go anywhere. Where would that be, and why?
Well, you've literally just sprung this on me, so I haven't had a chance
Yeah.
to think about it. But as you were putting the question to me, there are two different nights that sprung to mind, and I will choose one of them. But the first one, I immediately thought of Soul Heaven at El Divino in Ibiza. Would have been around 2001 or 2002. The time we'll be able to pinpoint because it was when Sean and Scoffrey Days Like This had just come out. I played that as the sun rose over the marina at El Divino, legendary venue, as you all know, for a legendary party. And it was just one of those really special moments. That was the first thing that came into my head as you were talking. Then I thought, well, maybe I could roll back time even further and go back to 1991 to the Amnesia House parties in Coventry, where the acid house movement was in full swing, and lots of madness, lots of debauchery, lots of chemically induced fun, and some of the best days of my life that set the foundation to where we all are today. So those are the two, and I guess if I had to choose one, if you put me on the spot, I'd go for Soul Heaven because it was a beautiful,
Yeah.
really special
And the
moment.
Shawnee Scoffrey song.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Cool. Well, I think I might play that next then. And thanks very much for your time, Andy. And we'll jump back into the show, and we'll play Shawnee Scoffrey. Many thanks.
Thank you, mate,
Thank
and
you.
continue the great show. I love it.
All right, buddy. Cheers. Thanks a lot.
Cheers.